It hasn't been that long since your breakup and your ex is already in a rebound relationship. What is that about? Well, you have a feeling you know what that's about. They were avoidant during your relationship and they're just avoiding all the pain of the breakup with this new rebound. I know what that feels like. It's not a good feeling. It's painful. It's agonizing because you're here feeling like you never should have broke up in the first place. If they would have just stayed in the relationship and worked on things, then you would have been fine. And here you were hoping that maybe they would realize the error of their ways and come back to you. But no, they decided to go out and find somebody else. Personally, that made me angry. For you, that might make you feel hopeless and desperate and feel like this is it. So let's take a minute and talk about what's going on here. The end of a breakup first. Like, we gotta be very careful about this and understand. The end of a breakup, there's changes that go through your body. It's natural to be upset. It's natural to go through these periods where we have panic and we freak out and we're afraid that something's happening or something's bad's gonna happen, or we start to like catastrophize everything. We see everything is going wrong. But we also have these periods where we kind of like accept that things have already gone wrong and we're upset and we're sad and we're processing. It's grieving. This is normal when we lose somebody who's important in our lives, like our partner who is now our ex. So how you're feeling is normal. Let's just take a step back and remember that. It's okay to feel panicked. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel all this emotional turmoil and confusion and craziness after a breakup. That is the normal body reaction to this. But then you may be wondering, well, okay, if that's the normal body reaction, then why did my ex just go off and find somebody else? How come they're not processing this the same way that I am? How come they're not freaking out? How come I haven't seen them crying? Well, it's possible that they do have an avoidant attachment style. If this is all new to you, I've done other videos on avoidant attachment style, but basically somebody who is avoidant is uncomfortable with intimacy and they're uncomfortable with being vulnerable. So they may actually be feeling all those things that you're experiencing, but they're not admitting it to themselves. They're in denial about it. They're doing things like getting into a rebound relationship to try to cover it up and act like it's not happening because they're uncomfortable with the feelings, and they're definitely not going to share it with you, the person who they broke up with, or you broke up with them, whatever. They don't feel comfortable with you. That's part of the reason why they're distancing themselves in the first place. Now, that doesn't make it any less painful if you know the reason why they got into a rebound relationship. You know, it still hurts to watch your partner move away. And I know that that pain that you're feeling is part of what's motivating you to wonder, is that why they got into a rebound relationship? And again, this is all just normal body response to a breakup, to feel this kind of pain. And it's normal to want your ex back because when we separate from people, we get uncomfortable. We feel like we're insecure. We feel vulnerable, especially when it's somebody that we've been intimate with. So we may wonder, why are they getting to a rebound relationship and try to figure things out? Because actually thinking about them is one way of bringing them closer to us, because the more time we spend thinking, the more that we feel like we're connected to them because the memories come back up. But besides that, we also usually have some kind of a hope that if we can figure it out, we can watch their behavior, then we can see how we're going to get them to come back to us, how we're going to restore that relationship and go back to the way that things were maybe in the beginning of the relationship or a better time in the relationship that we remember. Now again, I know that this hurts. I've been through this quite a few times. It sucks. I get it. But we have to check ourselves here. Does it matter why your ex got into a rebound relationship? And even, okay, let's say it did matter. Because I know some of you are like, yes, of course, because it's going to decide whether I do this or I do that, or whether they're going to do this or whether they're going to do that. First of all, you can't predict what they're going to do. I know you think that you can because you know them very intimately, but every person is different and every situation is different, and you might have an educated guess on the way that they might behave, but you're not going to know exactly the way things are going to go, and trying to feel like you have some kind of control over them ultimately is hurting your own mental health and preventing you from continuing forward in whatever healthy way that you need to. But beside that, let's just say that they did get into a rebound relationship because they're avoiding the feelings of a relationship and they're avoiding you and they're avoiding all the problems just like they did in the relationship. Chances are, if they have some kind of an avoidant attachment style, it's not like it magically changed just because they got into a new relationship, and so you're observing the same things that happened to you while you two were together. But here's the thing. They are with somebody else now. that is like the ultimate, in my mind, distance maker between two people. To actually take your intimacy and give it to somebody else is like, I don't know what else somebody could do to say to you, to give across the message that I don't want to be intimate with you. I know that stings. It hurts. It sucks. It upset me. I'm sure it upsets you. But if they're that far apart from you emotionally, psychologically, then there's a reason. And it's probably because they want to be that far apart from you. There's not usually some kind of like secret messages or things that they're trying to send to you. I know you may have some hopes that that's what's going on. I had those hopes. It's totally normal to have those hopes, but they're doing the things that they're doing for a reason. And let's just say that the reason why they are in a rebound relationship is because they're trying to avoid the feelings and avoid everything. Well, it's not like that's going to change if they exit this rebound relationship and come back to you. They're still going to have that avoidant attachment style. They're still going to have a hard time with intimacy, and they're still going to have, you're probably still going to have all the same problems that were there when they left, that maybe even caused them to break up in the first place. And I guess you could say what I'm really trying to help you to see here is that trying to figure out what your ex is doing and why they're doing it, usually one of the reasons why people do this is because we're trying to avoid our own pain. So in a way, we're becoming like them. We're avoiding our pain. We're just not jumping into a rebound relationship. We're not feeling the feelings of the loss, the grief of the end of the relationship. And they may not be doing that, and they may using this poor coping strategy to try to get through things. Maybe that's the only way they know how, I don't know, but you don't have to go down that road. You can sit with the feelings, sit with the emotions, learn how to cope with them, let them pass, and come out the other side of this much healthier, so that when you do decide to get into a relationship, whether with your ex or somebody else, because you don't know what the future is going to look like, you're going to be in a healthier place and you're going to be able to handle these things better. I am personally of the belief that rebound relationships are not good for people, that people get into them for the wrong reasons, and usually it's because they're avoiding something. Usually it's because they are uncomfortable with experiencing their emotions, they're uncomfortable with the problems from the last relationship, they see it like as an escape hatch that they can just slide down and slide away from, and maybe you see this, and maybe that's frustrating for you because you're like, oh, just fix the problem, stay with me and fix the problem. I know that's how I felt, and that sucks. It really, really sucks when somebody you're close to decides to do these things, but remember, we can't control other people. So all we can do is listen to what we're feeling, and what we're feeling right now probably is pain. We're feeling upset. Maybe we're feeling some anger. All of those feelings are okay. Feel them, experience them, let them flow through you. And what's going to happen is if you continue to go through this process and you continue to heal, you're going to come out the other side much more better equipped to be able to get into a new relationship, so that you don't do it the way that your partner is currently doing it, so that you don't upset the next person the way that your partner has upset you. This is an area of growth, and I want you to see that. And I know that it's painful, but painful often is the way that we get through to the other side, to being a more full human being with a healthier perspective and a healthier outlook on life, so that we can enjoy life and get into relationships that are fulfilling. Okay, I know that was a lot to swallow. I know that would have hurt me to hear when I was going through what you might be going through yourself, but I want to hear what your thoughts are on this. Do you think that what I've said is true? Do you have questions? Let me know. I'm here to try to help in many ways as I can. Please leave your thoughts down below in the comments.